two freaks on a blind date, okay? And this was the most awkward thing I think I've ever done, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. To think that two people could be so on par with me is mind-blowing. Because don't get me wrong, I literally will do anything that walks. I will literally do the devil's tango with like a grandmother. Actually, I've done that before, but that's that story for a different time. But today's story, today is going to be the most awkward thing ever, and I will tell you this much, it gets really weird. So strap on your seatbelts, get some popcorn, I don't know, get like your pop sockets or whatever you want to play with while listening to this story, because this is about to get crazy. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story takes place back when I was in high school. This is my grade 12 year. That's right, towards the end of the year when we're basically turning into adults and things get really weird. Because, you know, usually the middle school stage is when you're like hitting hormones and stuff, and then when you reach high school, that's when the hormones have set in and you're out for adventure. Basically, by that, I mean you're meeting other women and you're doing the devil's tango. But I remember one time there was a new student in our school that ended up coming into our school. He was a guy and he was from Russia, and he was like, let's just say, one of the most interesting guys ever. He was really tall and really charming, and honestly, I'll tell you one thing, when we stood beside each other, we looked like basically what, like the Jonas Brothers, One Direction, Drake and Josh, I don't know, basically two really attractive males that could pull any sort of woman. So I remember I decided to walk up to him and say, yo, what's poppin', bro? Like, my name is Bubba, like, nice to meet you. He ended up shaking my hand and saying, what is going on, brother? And he ended up shaking my hand. We ended up becoming good friends. I started showing him around the school and stuff because, you know, I'm being a nice guy. And then on top of that, I remember when we were walking throughout the school, no joke, everyone, and I mean every girl that was in that hallway when we were walking down it was staring at us. It was like we're in a movie. It was like one of those really awkward scenes where basically, you know, a kid would get bullied and everyone would stare him down. I don't know, if you haven't seen 13 Reasons Why, go watch it. Unless you're like emotionally challenged, then probably don't. But I remember basically when I was showing him the school and like walking around, I realized one thing. We ended up sitting down together and he was looking me in the eye telling me, brother, tell me one thing. Where do I find the finest women in the school? The finest women is what I said. He ended up making it sound like he was trying to find a princess for royalty. But then I told my brother, yo, listen, bro, straight up, I'm gonna find you a queen, okay? I got you. I'm gonna set you up on a blind date. He ended up like looking at me like kind of like awkwardly saying, what is blind date? I don't want to be blind. I want to see her. Nah, bro, trust me, bro. You'll enjoy this girl, is what I said afterwards. And one thing led to another. Well, I ended up planning him a blind date. Now, I didn't do this the easy way. I basically ended up going to like one of the chicks in my school who would literally do the devil's tango with literally anyone. And when I mentioned to this girl that, you know, I invited to go on a blind date with him, that the guy was the new Russian guy in our school, she was all for it. She's like, oh my goodness, like he probably has like that BWC. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Wait, what is what I said afterwards? Like, I don't know. I don't know what that stands for, nor do I want to know what that stands for. And please don't put it in the comments what it stands for, because that's weird, champ Andy, bro. But basically, I ended up telling this girl everything and told her some minor details to know about the guy. And one thing led to another, ended up being the next day. It was a Friday night, and I remember basically I told the guy that I would pick him up in my car with the girl that he wanted to hang out with, and then I would bring a chick as well. The chick I ended up bringing was just one of my, like, you know, friends with benefits I always just hang out with and stuff. When I told the situation, she was like, Bubba, you do know I don't want to go on a date with you. Like, I just really want you just because of your eggplant. Yeah, I get that, but like, just go on this date with me because, you know, it's a double date. She ended up saying fine, and then afterwards, I remember basically I had a date, and the Russian guy that was new to our school ended up having a date as well. Friday night happened. I ended up getting in my car. I ended up wearing some nice clothes, and I ended up driving to go pick up my Russian friend. And then afterwards, I ended up picking up the two chicks at the same area because they ended up like meeting up together because they already knew each other, which was really awkward, but I mean, it worked out. And I remember everyone got in my car, and instantly, and I mean instantly, for some reason, the Russian guy ends up getting out of my car for some weird reason, ends up getting in the backseat with his girl, and he tells the girl that I invited out to, yo, go sit in the front seat. Go sit with your man. This is inappropriate. And basically, she ended up saying, oh, okay. And she moved up to the front seat with me, being my passenger princess. From there, I remember basically we ended up like driving around and stuff. And then afterwards, I remember as we were driving to the restaurant we wanted to go to, no joke, this guy, in the first 5 minutes of being in my car with this girl, he literally was already tonguing her down and getting bricked up. At this point, bro, like, I don't even know. Like, was there even a point of going to the restaurant when you're already getting dessert? It was super awkward. And I remember me and the girl that was sitting beside me, the friends with benefits that I had at the time, were just looking at each other super awkwardly like, okay, whatever. And basically we started just keep driving on and kept going to the restaurant because she was hungry and so was I. I remember we got to the restaurant, and basically the whole time when they both got out of my car and stuff, they still kept making out. But that's not even the weirdest part. The guy was super tall, right? So he ended up actually like grabbing this girl's booty cheeks and just walking around holding them. Like, they looked like a really cringy middle school couple that literally just realized what the devil's tango actually was. I don't know. At this point, I was super weirded out, and I just realized something that was really weird. These two people were the most freakiest people I've ever hung out with. And don't get me wrong, I get freaky, but I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like, in public, just, you know, doing super awkward things. But the story only gets worse from here. I remember basically when we were sitting in the restaurant, we were eating food, okay? I ended up ordering a pasta. The chick beside me ordered a burger. burger. The guy ordered the burger, and the other chick that he was with ended up ordering a pasta. But the thing that was super weird is that she ordered specifically spaghetti. Now, let me tell you something, okay? We all seen Lady and the Tramp. If you haven't seen Lady and the Tramp, basically it's about two dogs that ended up kissing from having spaghetti noodle and, you know, making out and stuff. Yeah, okay, everyone knows the iconic scene. Well, basically, they recreated that in the restaurant in the most awkwardest way possible. Because every time this chick would end up kissing this Russian dude that was, like, new to our school, they would literally start moaning. Like, it was super awkward. When they were kissed, it would be like, like, whoa, bro, like, what? I don't know. Things got super awkward, and it got to the point where I remember the chick beside me, my friends with benefits, looked at me and said, okay, this seriously just was not worth it. This is just getting super awkward. And then I remember I was like, yo, guys, like, tone it down. You know what I mean? I ended up telling my Russian friend that. He ended up looking at me saying, bro, I'm trying to enjoy my woman, man. Calm down. And then he basically, like, kept going on at it. And then I remember I told him, dude, seriously, stop or you're finding your own way home. You know, kind of like threatening him, which is not a good idea because he could definitely, like, kick my butt. But you know what? It was whatever. And then from there, I remember he was like, okay, don't worry about it. And then he stopped doing it. We ended up eating our food. And then I remember this guy ended up standing up saying, oh, like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he ends up getting up, going to the bathroom. And I want to say not even like 2 minutes later, this girl keeps checking her phone that was, like, you know, was basically on a date with him. And literally, like, after like the third minute, she checks her phone again, stands up and says, oh, like, I have to go to the bathroom. I remember the girl beside me that was my friends with benefits ends up looking at her saying, oh, like, do you want me to come with you? And ends up standing up. But the girl says, oh, like, no, like, you don't have to come with me. I'm just gonna go really quick. And she ends up leaving, going to the bathroom, and we did not hear from them the next, like, almost hour and a half. Me and my friends with benefits were just sitting here looking at each other thinking, did they just dash and dine? Like, did they really just dip? But then I want to say like 5 minutes afterwards, a waitress walks up to us saying, hey, like, here's you guys' bills. Do you know when they're gonna be back? I remember I looked at her and said, no, I'll just pay the bill. It's fine. And I ended up paying for this guy's bill. Super annoying and really pissed me off, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. But that wasn't even the most awkward part. I want to say like 2 minutes later, a manager of the restaurant walks up to us and says, you guys walked in with a couple, right? We looked at him saying, yeah. Okay, well, right now they're doing the Devil's Tango in the men's bathroom, and I'm gonna need you to like stop that because, like, you know, it's not our duty to like control your guys' hormones. So like, can you go handle that? Are you kidding me? For the last hour and a half, or sorry, hour and 45 minutes, we were in the restaurant. You were doing the girl in the bathroom? I remember I was so choked to the point where I remember I walked into the bathroom. I ended up saying like, yo, bro, we gotta dip. And all I hear is, oh my goodness, no way. Like, it was super awkward, bro. I don't even want to like describe it because it was super weird, even though I already described it enough. I remember 5 minutes go by. They both come out. They both like looking really guilty, but at the same time, really did not care what just happened. And we ended up getting in my car. I ended up both dropping them off at the girl's place because, you know, for some reason they were going to stay the night together, which I mean, works out, I guess. And then afterwards, I remember I dropped off the girl that I was hanging out with, my friends with benefits, and she was already really pissed off at me for like, you know, everything that just happened, which I mean sucks, but hey, what can I say? Guys can't control themselves for some reason, or girls, I guess, in this case. But honestly, I always will regret putting those two freaky monsters into one room. Like, I will never see that again, hopefully. Anyways, guys, follow for more embarrassing stories.